One. Hi there. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in the heartbeat of Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in the armpit of Western New York.
So you do admit it stinks there. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt and I have had really a distinct pleasure of tasting and dissecting Masuave. As you can see, I've put a dent in this one. To be fair, I've had this bottle for a long time, but I haven't revisited it in weeks because we've been so busy. This obviously is not a. It's a winner from, and I believe that's BTI. That's the this neck tag came with one of the bottles, and it was given a 93 by the Beverage Tasting Institute, or known as BTI to us. And for me, other than Tequila Aficionados, brands of promise, I believe that these guys are the more legit, even more legit than us, because they've been doing it longer, probably, for awards anyway. This is Masuave, and we were impressed as hell with the Blanco.
Sure were.
Again, I love that hammered look. It's got a nice tapered, feel to it. The hammered look, and they're using real cork. We found. Oh wow! Did you see that? Look at the
bubbles. We didn't even check the bubbles on the last one.
Oh my God! It's shampoo bubbles, folks. Again, that's not an indication of quality, but it's a really good sign. Okay. So let's just taste this stuff and see what we come up with. The Blanco was triple distilled, and after we had it originally the first pass. I understood why. It is rather punchy, and that's okay. I'm good with punchy. We found it as a very much an old school style tequila, very much a throwback. So you're using your Glencairn.
I am.
I am using my Stossel Jarrito, which this one is actually the wider mouth for mezcal. And again, it's taking its own sweet time to give me those legs and tears.
Yeah, really, the film that's on the glass is very, very thin.
Yeah, it's not. What's interesting though, I found the Blanco very complex. There was because it looks thin, the mouthfeel was pretty good.
It was.
So again, it's these are one of the ones you can't really judge by its look. Now I'm getting the legs and tears.
It just takes a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's a kind of a pale gold color. Do we know how long these have been rested?
Yeah, 9 months, and it looks like it's a blend of barrels, new and used.
But for 9 months, you're not getting a whole lot of color on this.
No, you really aren't.
And to me, again, that's not a bad thing because we really love the Blanco. So now I'm getting the beautiful legs and tears.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Everything about this tequila is a throwback, and it's not behaving like the ones that we're used to getting. Right? You mentioned that when we tasted the Blanco, you have that preconceived idea of what these Blancos are going to taste like and where it's coming from,
and that wasn't that.
No, I wasn't. So let's see what we get on the nose. Oh,
I like that.
I didn't lose any agave. There's still baked agave.
It's baked agave. There's a good amount of oak.
Yeah.
And all of those aromas you would associate with oak barrel aging. That sweet dessertiness, a little bit of caramel.
I think on that Blanco, there was a touch of citrus, but it was more orange, I think, and then it just kind of got lost. There wasn't as prominent as what we get in some of the Highlands tequilas that we get, or some of the other ones that are from other regions.
And with the Blanco, it had smelled sweeter than it was on the palate. Right. So it'll be interesting to see how this tracks.
Wow. It's still full of agave body. I mean, the aroma there is and we found out it is baked in stone ovens because that's what I
Yes.
got. And I had that bottle sealed for weeks. I hadn't revisited it because I just have too many right now. But I like it, man. This is really it does not lose the agave characteristic.
Mm-hmm.
Very little alcohol too. I'm not getting a whole bunch. Are you getting any?
No, not really. No. I'm ready to dive in there. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Mm. Mm. Wow. Mm. Oh my God. Mm. Wow.
Mm. That is. Mm. There's a little bit of ethanol on the very end of the finish in the retronasal, but wow, there's a lot of this one is sweeter
Right.
than the
But
Blanco.
that's because of the barrel, I think.
Yeah. And there's a lot of barrel in this in the taste.
Yeah, but even then, I still got the explosion of pepper,
Mm-hmm.
like we got with the Blanco. Honestly, this was a really balanced reposado, and I
Mm-hmm.
can see why BTI enjoyed it because it's not there's not a clash and one doesn't overtake the other. It's a really good dovetail. It's a good marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, because again, the brand owners are based in St. Louis, which technically, I mean, if you look at it, it's probably bourbon country whiskey, more bourbon probably, but
Mm-hmm.
and so they try to they want to make sure that that's the market that they go after. You want to dominate where you live first, and then spread out.
Sure.
If you can. Wow, that finish just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
Where do you feel that the tequila the agave ends in the barrel notes start? Is that at the front end for you?
It's sort of mid palate for me. I still get a little bit of that the pepper that we had in the Blanco in the mid palate. But the barrel sweetness is really coming on the finish. But it's sort of, let me have another sip. It's been a minute.
Go, yeah, have another one. And the alcohol, you're right. It's much more prominent on the intake than it is in the aroma.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not a bad thing. I like my tequila to grab me by the shirt collar and say, "I'm here. Taste me."
Mm-hmm.
Instead of it's so smooth. Okay. Mid palate then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm really so it's. I would almost call this an after dinner reposado if that were a category, right? Like that's where I would sip this, sort of as a post dinner neat.
A digestif as a
yeah, that's the word.
French is awful, but you have.
I'm thinking aperitif, and I'm like, nope, that's the one that comes before.
So see, none of us speak French. We all speak Spanish. But yeah, this one has enough body and character though. I would pair it with a cigar.
Yeah.
Probably not a real robust cigar, but something like in the mid range. Not too light, not too sweet, because this tequila's got a lot. There's a lot going on in this reposado version. So we know that it's rested up to 9 months, right? There's a blend.
Yep.
We know that it's been highly rated. This is only double distilled, however. So the Blanco was triple distilled. This is double distilled. Whiskey barrels and American oak casks. Let's see. Longer than industry reposado standards. The extra resting or reposado time involves the unique. What's that? Oh God! Hang on a second. Readers.
Get the readers out.
Get the readers. Okay. Time invokes a unique flavor and smoothness. Can be substituted for whiskey in many cocktails, or enjoyed on its own in a snifter or on the rocks. Neat. I do agree. I agree. I like where this tequila is going, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it even gives you food pairings. We're looking at the
Yeah.
POS material.
Very specific food pairings.
Yeah, Chipotle chicken and tacos.
Yeah. Regular chicken tacos, no, they're out.
No,
But
Chipotle chicken
Chipotle,
and
you're good. Yeah.
the aroma. It says it's caramel. I still don't get.
I got a
I
little
think I have to let it open up some more because, and I'm using the wider mouth on purpose. Just sometimes I like to flip flop my tequila and mezcal glasses just to see if I'm picking up anything. Now it's getting sweeter. Now as it's opening up a little bit more and I have a little bit less, I'm getting more of that barrel sweetness, that caramel, maybe a little honey, not any vanilla that you got, but you got that on the Blanco, and I think that was the caramelized agave that you got.
I think I'm just predispositioned to that today.
Yeah. What do I feel like? I feel like caramel today. I don't know.
I'm gonna go have some vanilla ice cream when we're done with this.
Barrel. I'm getting wow, man. I got like a little bit of leather. It's now that it's opening up, it's like
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Only Highland agaves they use according to their website.
Okay. But that's again, that I'm not. Let me give you the ins and outs on this tequila so that we know who we're talking about. As I mentioned in the Blanco, this is NOM 1124 Tequilas del Señor. If you're familiar or unfamiliar with that distillery, they have made several award winners. They're not a big maquiladora. They're about mid-level, but they make some really good old school tequilas I remember from years and years ago. Rio de Plata, Herencia del Señor is one of their nice extra aged tequilas that used to come in like I say, a wooden box with a Riedel in it, and there were 7-year-olds, and I had once the 7-year-old, but I had the 5-year-old twice. That was awesome. I love that 5-year-old. Was that cream soda. And anyway, they also made Dos Lunas, which I'm pretty sure is now by the wayside. So there's several reputable brands that have come out of there, some really good standard brands that you can rely on. Can you read the signature on that bottle? I know that the first name is Manuel. Manuel,
maybe Garcia. It's hard. It's very, very blurry.
Yeah, it's hard to read. The reason I bring that up is, well, of course, that's the master distiller of this particular line. My understanding is that they're just last Monday, another victim of COVID from this distillery, a gentleman by the name of Pedro Garcia Uribe. I'm not sure if this is a relative of Manuel. If indeed his last name is Garcia, it's kind of hard to read, but I'm going to assume that they are a family. I understood from another master distiller that I follow on LinkedIn that he was a pillar of strength for Tequilas del Señor. So I'm thinking maybe he was the patriarch, one of the leaders of this distillery. Recently passed away, sadly, and wow, what a great tequila. What do we know about pricing? What do we know about pricing?
Yeah, so the repo looks to be about $42.
Would you pay $42 for this?
I would pay $42 for this. Repo? Yeah, it's hard to get almost any decent repo at $42. So this is a steal.
Oh wow, there you go. Hey, words from Matt Mattress, ladies and gentlemen. Look, Brand of Promise nominee. I think it's a valid. I think it's more than solid too. I really believe that. This is one of those throwback tequilas, but they're, like I say, I think the Blanco is triple distilled and rested in barrels, but because of the new technology that exists, I think that there was no color the color was filtered out of the Blanco because it didn't look like a Blanco Suave to me that I'm familiar with. But wow, what an amazing repo! So after dinner. Definitely you could use this in some of those old-fashioned cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
Because it stands up. It stands up. I would pair it with a cigar. Wow, with these two, you don't even need an añejo.
But we got one.
Yeah, I know. Let's not even do the anyhow. Never mind.
Skip it. We'll just drink it.
We'll just drink.
Yours is probably empty anyway.
No, yeah, almost. I wonder why. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our take on Masuave tequila. This is the Reposado version. There's nothing else we need to really tell you about it except that it's if you're looking for old school tequila with a good punch and something you can serve neat, you know, it's very versatile. Or if you got like chicken tacos laying around and you got nothing else to go with it.
You need some chipotle seasoning though. You can't have regular.
Yeah, you gotta, you know. I tell you what, I think there's the versatility of this Reposado. I would even pair it with Italian food, which I've been told, it was told years ago that the most one particular mixologist that I know that I did I was a judge at a tasting with. He was very famous, and he said, you know, I don't like pairing tequilas with Mexican food. I prefer Italian foods. And I thought that was really strange until I started doing that. And it's like, wow, this will really hold up with a good lasagna, you know? So, hey, don't be afraid if, you know, to order, have one of these while you're at, you know, if you can decide, if you can ever get back to Olive Garden, you know, there you go. But that's
I don't think there's any food that tequila doesn't pair with. So there's
I agree with you. I think, you know, for years, here's another thing. For years, I visited a place in San Francisco, and there's only one other one in Boston. They're not even related. It was called Hecho. And the one in San Francisco, what it was a tequila and sushi place. And I gotta tell you, Blanco tequila with sushi or a good reposado, and they serve it to you in those sushi glasses, which are very different. And it's amazing because what's sushi? It's just ceviche, right? So anyway, you know, I mean, it's almost dumb when you think about it because it really makes more sense. Although the combination of the seafood, you know, made as sushi versus, you know, in a bag and a salad, because the way they make ceviche in Mexico, some of them just they throw it all in a plastic bag, they shake it up, and they drink it out of there. You know, that's ceviche for them. But anyway, that's our take on Masuave. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
You've been watching and listening to us on Sipping Off the Cuff, whether you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, please download it. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, tell us if you've had this tequila, tell us what you think, what you pair it with, and, you know, whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.